Welcome to another month of romance video. So I don't normally like to make negative videos, but I guess today I'm making one. I'm gonna talk about some of my pet peeves in romance. So things that just they're not huge problems. I'm not saying you need to dislike these. These are just things that kind of irk me a little bit when I read them. Sorry if the camera wobbles. I have a cat. He likes to move things. So let's get into it. So also I am sorry if pointing out any of these things draws your attention to them, a la spoiler alert in How I Met Your Mother. I'm sorry if that happens to you. I've been there. I apologize. My first thing is one of my biggest pet peeves, and that is contraception. Ooh, especially in a contemporary novel. I really need my characters to discuss safe and protective sex along everything. So birth control, so pills, condoms, STI, STD testing, having an open conversation about protecting yourself. I think is really, really important. Oh, and nothing drives, well, no, there's one thing that drives me more crazy, but like, I'll just pull out is not a viable method. No, not in a contemporary. The thing that bothers me the most is the condom in the wallet. Don't put a condom in your wallet and then use it. That is just asking for condom failure. Like, seriously. Your body temperature and the friction from putting it in your wallet and moving it and everything can cause damage and lack of integrity to the condom. So please don't do that. I'll link some information below if you want to know more. I will say I'm not saying that authors have like a responsibility to their readers, but I think that this is the 21st century, and I think it's important to have these conversations, and I think a lot of times our fiction world can really set the stage for what should be happening in the real world, and I think we should be normalizing these conversations, and so seeing a character in a book have this conversation I think is really healthy. Speaking of which is another one, I have talked about this one before in videos, so I'll try not to go into too much detail and like talk about it for too long, but I call it the I won't be able to stop. So what this is when a guy, it's always a guy, I'm sorry, and I always see this in male-female relationships. I can't think of any time where I've seen it in a male-male relationship story. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but that is my observation. And it's when he tells a woman that if she's gonna say no or she's gonna need to stop, she needs to tell him now before he goes any further, because later he won't be able to stop. Now, I understand that the writing of this, the intention is meant to be like, he's so passionate and so in love and so into you that like he just won't be able to control himself. But no, I'm sorry. When either party says no, stop, etc., you stop. Full stop. Next is love triangles. So this is a trope. I just don't like it. I often think that they feel forced. I think a true love triangle is when the two like points of the triangle are like possible options, and the life would be different for the person at the main point. I don't know. Their life would be different if they went with one or the other. So for it to be a really well done love triangle, you would have to not really know who the person would end up with at the end. And I personally can't read books like that. I need to know who my ride or die is. I hate when characters change, like YA, that happens sometimes, where the love interest is one character in one book and then the next book it changes. I personally don't like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just don't like it. I like to know my end game, have my end game right out there, and then root for it. I don't want my ship to crash. Next is something that again could be kind of considered a trope, and that is cheating. I just don't like cheating in my books. I don't support it in life or in romance novels. This is why I have so many conflicting feelings about Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover, and will probably never read it again even though I loved it. But I actively avoid cheating books. Another one is a trope, and I talked about this recently in a trope video in January, and that is the overprotective big brother. Oh my gosh. I hate this. I feel like it adds drama unnecessarily, and it is just infantilizing a lot of times to a younger sibling, and I really don't like it. Next is another thing that causes drama unnecessarily, and that is the I need to leave you to protect you. I just don't like it. I understand why authors do it, and I think a lot of times they, you know, have a decent excuse for it in their books. Explanation, I guess. I don't know. But I really don't like it, and it's so predictable at this point, and it just drives me crazy. And it's like almost always a guy that does it. I have read some girls, so, but ugh. Next is not talking to each other. Conflict in a novel should not come from an irrational lack of communication between your characters. Just saying. And the last one is a weird one. Oh, and I can't believe that this is a pet peeve of mine, because I feel like such a hypocrite, because I hate policing people's words. So please know I am not policing your word choice, and you are allowed to say this word, and you can even say this word in the comments of my videos. I'm not going to be mad about it. I might cringe a little bit inside, but that's my own problem. And that is, I hate with a burning you know how people feel about the word moist? That's how I feel about the word smut. I think it's because it historically has a connotation of being used in a very dismissive and derogatory way. And I think a lot of people now are using it in the genre to like own the term. And I get that. I get that logic. I'm there. I am. But the other part of me is totally team. You can't call each other sluts and whores and expect guys not to call you sluts and whores. I don't know. I just really don't like this word. Again, you can use it and it's fine. But I will say I will probably never participate in Smutathon just because I can't see myself saying that word, and like, it's not like a horrible word. I know I said that word like it's like some, no, it's a perfectly fine word. I really don't like it. So yes, now you know my dirty secrets. So those are some of my bookish pet peeves. If you want to know, let me know what any of yours are, so I feel like less of a weirdo. That'd be great. Or just tell me I'm a weirdo. That's fine too. I hope a lot of these things don't bother you. And I will say a lot of these, a few of them maybe would go into like a rating, like not talking to each other. That kind of thing might go into a rating, but I'm never going to rate a book down if like I go into it knowing that it's gonna have like the birth control thing. It bothers me, but I'm never gonna rate a book down for that. Like, I'm not. That's fine, whatever. I might talk about it in a review, but it's not gonna affect my rating. So I feel like my pet peeves are fine then. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with another video. Bye.